My brothers and sisters, the children of all ages, welcome to Barnum and Bailey Circus. What up, my Ace Spoon Coons? It was just a little retro throwback of what I remember the circus sounding like. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, what's going on? Hey, today we are going to get deep and shallow. How about that for balance? All right, we're going to get political, spiritual, musical. Going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of funny shit. Because we got to laugh, man. Times are crazy right now. Not to laugh, dude. If you don't laugh, you're going to go insane. Gallows humor. Shout out to Jeselnik, Anthony Jeselnik, one of the favorite comedians and writers. Anyway, we're going to set it off like this.
Kamala just got heckled. Kamala Harris just got heckled at a Detroit rally. Oh my God, they were chanting Donald Trump. Watch this. Watch how pissed she gets. She gets pissed.
I'm here because we believe in democracy. Everyone's voice matters, but I am speaking now. You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that. Otherwise, I'm speaking.
Look how mad she is. Look at her face. Look at her face. Look at her face. She's pissed. Yeah. She looks like she's gonna cry. Get out of here. She's yelling now. How embarrassing! You're not gonna see that at Trump rallies. Oh no. She's done.
You're not going to see that on the news either. I didn't see that until I opened up my TikTok, the real news network. Just kidding. TikTok bans my videos on weather control, by the way. You could talk about anything on TikTok except weather control. That was the first time. Hey, that was a week ago or more. She got booed and heckled again. Check it out. There's a second video. Heckle number 2.
We are fighting for America's future, and we understand the opportunity we have before us to turn the page on the fear we are fighting.
Damn. The enthusiasm is gone, baby. And the patience has run out. Yes, sir.
Fighting for America's future, and we understand the opportunity we have before us to turn the page on the fear we are fighting for.
Anybody know what they were saying? Sounded like no more war, no more, something like that. But that was the second time she got heckled. I don't know. Who you guys voting for? It's only a week away, guys. The apocalypse is only 1 week away. It's like nobody knows the time nor the hour, brother. Not even the angels in heaven. This is Judge Joe Brown. How many of y'all know who he is? This guy has got some inside secrets. Check this out.
Kamala, which, by the way, is the name of a Hindu goddess, and it's not a black name. One of her relatives, his name is Jesse Smollett, the one that got caught up with that fraud thing. He's her nephew by marriage. They got pictures of Jesse Smollett buying this noose during Halloween season at a costume shop. They've got it on video. And on security cameras, you can see him putting the noose around his own neck. And he had met with Kamala just before that, and she and Cory Booker, this is the same day when he flew into Chicago, they had been working on something that Conyers came up with in 1997 that is now modified and introduced as the Emmett Till anti-lynch bill.
Wow.
Remember the neck?
Yes.
And the whole thing, they went off and then they had to withdraw it because of the fraud that came out.
Wow.
Well, see, this is something they're trying to do. And maybe this will give you an idea of how they're sneaking around here. The Emmett Till anti-lynch bill has nothing to do with black people.
No bill they put up has anything to do with black people.
No.
Or just the headline. But then when you read it.
The headline does.
Yeah.
But what it does is it puts into the American federal criminal laws for the first time sexual orientation as a victim category for criminal offenses. Now, when you think of a lynching, you think of a mob killing somebody, right? Well, the Emmett Till anti-lynch bill, one, doesn't require a mob. It can be one person. It doesn't even require a homicide. You can kidnap somebody or beat somebody. Let's say you have a guy who's broken up with his girlfriend or his wife, and he's feeling down, and some of his friends say, hey, man, let's go to the club. He's dancing with this PYT, pretty young thing. They're having a good time, exchanging spit over in the shadows and drinking wine. And then he looks down. Man, you got a heart? What are you? You got a heart on. And he busts him in the mouth. Now that's federal lynching.
Wow.
So what they did with it, you see this bait and switch. Kamala, which, by the way, is the name of a Hindu.
Damn. You see how they sneak things into legislations? Nuts. Be right back. Hold up. This next one is something you must know. You have to know this shit. Who polices the Department of Justice? And what is about to happen to our free speech? And how the hell did this get past the Supreme Court? I'm confused. I need answers. This one gets deep, y'all. Hold up.
Of the United States back in the business of justice. We will double the Civil Rights Division and direct law enforcement to counter this extremism. We will hold social media platforms accountable for the hate infiltrating their platforms because they have a responsibility to help fight against this threat to our democracy. And if you profit off of hate, if you act as a megaphone for misinformation or cyber warfare, if you don't police your platforms, we are going to hold you accountable as a community.
All right, there's more. There's more from that. But who are you going to hold accountable and for what? Do you know how much misinformation fact checkers have missed? Or how much misinformation fact checkers have misinformed us about? Who are these fact checkers, bro?
Fellow patriots,
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system.
be well regulated. We are the militia. Check this clip out, just in case you missed it, by Jared from Guns and Gadgets.
Never before has the United States military been able to take force action on American citizens in the homeland. But here we are. Why? Because they think that there will be civil unrest in, 3 weeks or 4 weeks for the election? 3 weeks. And when they tell you who they are, ladies and gentlemen, believe them. And they're telling us who they are. You know, Biden has said for years now, if you think you're going to defeat the United States military, you're going to need an F-16. Remember all that bullshit? Well, he just cleared the military to take action. Here is the DoD Directive 5240.01 that was just updated, like I said, September 27th. And it is the DoD intelligence.
All right, I paused it so you can take a look at it. Or, you know what? I paused it so I can take a look at it. You can pause it whenever you want. This shit is crazy. This is legit. Department of Defense Directive 5240. Intelligence and intelligence-related activities and defense intelligence component assistance to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities.
Intelligence and intelligence-related activities and defense intelligence component assistance to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities. And here's the part that everybody should be aware of. This is the part a lot of people have been reaching out about in the last couple weeks here, and I have verified it. This is the one that everybody got issued, and my friends in the military have all said the same thing, that this was not accidentally included. Here it is. You go to section 3.3, levels of authority. Subject to paragraph 3.1, defense intelligence components may provide personnel to assist a federal department or agency, including a federal law enforcement agency or a state or local law enforcement agency, when lives are in danger, in response to a request for such assistance in accordance with the following approval authorities. 1. The Secretary of Defense may approve any type of requested permissible assistance prescribed in paragraph 3.2. 2. The decision to approve requests for these types of permissible assistance described in paragraph 3.2 to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities are reserved to the Secretary of Defense. A. Provision of personnel to support response efforts for civil disturbances, which may also require presidential authorization. B. DoD response to chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and high-yield explosive incidents. C, and this is the big one, assistance in responding with assets with potential for lethality, or any situation in which it is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force that is likely to result in lethal force, including death or serious bodily injury. It also includes all support to civilian law enforcement officials in situations where a confrontation between civilian law enforcement and civilian individuals or groups is reasonably anticipated. Such use of force must be in accordance with DoD, that's Department of Defense Directive 5210.56, potentially as further restricted based on the specifics of the requested support. D, provision or use of DoD unmanned systems, drones, in the United States, except as delegated by the Secretary of Defense pursuant to the October 31, 23 Secretary of Defense memorandum. Guys, anywhere that law enforcement could potentially be anticipated to have a confrontation with civilians or civilian groups, i.e. militia, you know, that group that's required by the United States Constitution, they're authorized to, upon request and approval by the Secretary of Defense, and perhaps in some situations the President, they're approved to you, to you. That's how far we have fallen. That's how far we have drifted away from the republic that our forefathers died to create. It doesn't get any more real than this.
Will put the Department of Justice of the United States.
What you think about that? The White House has fallen, y'all. Tisk, tisk, tisk. All right, peep this. So many legislations just being snuck right under our noses, y'all. This is coming from a Latina, a Hispanic lady in Congress.
I don't want anyone, listen to me well, I don't want anyone to confuse amnesty with dignity. This is not amnesty. Amnesty is what the undocumented have right now and have had for 30 years. Free roads, free schools, free hospitals. In the dignity law, everyone pays for their ride. If you have been here for 5 years and you do not have a criminal record, you will be able to go on the dignity status for 7 years. You will not be deported. You will not lose your assets. You can work anywhere in the country. You will pay taxes. And if you are on payroll, a new levy of 1.5 withholding called the dignity levy will be held from your paycheck. Anyway, you're paying right now 7% if you're on payroll, and you will never see that money again. So right now it's only 1.5. You can go home for Christmas or can go home to visit your family. You will not have access to any government program and will have to buy your own health insurance. You will pay $700 a year for 7 years, and that adds up to around $5,000. Dignity will bring you out of the shadow to live a very dignified life in this country, the promised land. I don't want to.
And that, my friends, is the difference between dignity and amnesty. All right. I love this guy's page. Cancel this clothing line. All right, peep this video. Very, very informative. And history is definitely repeating itself. There is nothing new under the sun, my man.
I think I found the real reason why the American Revolutionary War was started. And I think history is repeating itself. And it's not what they taught us in school. Because if you learned about the American Revolutionary War in school, you were probably taught about things like the Stamp Act, where the slogan was no taxation without representation. And sure, this is part of the story, but it's not the whole story. So what was it that the Founding Fathers were really most concerned about? Well, it definitely wasn't tea, and part of it was taxation without representation, but the big thing was actually money. If you notice, the Stamp Act was regulating all sorts of printed materials that had to be printed on stamped paper. So they were regulating printed materials. And the important part is that it had to be paid in British currency, not in colonial paper money. Because at the time, the colonists were experimenting with all sorts of their own kinds of money. During the 1700s, the colonists were free from English central banking that had been ruling their lives for the last 100 years or more. And they were inventing their own currencies by the people, for the people. And don't get me wrong, many of those currencies were garbage and many of them failed. It was the Wild West. There were all kinds of problems with colonial paper money, but it wasn't controlled by the English central bank. And that was a problem. So Great Britain...
Doesn't that remind you of cryptocurrency? History is repeating itself. And wasn't the whole purpose of crypto was to not get taxed? And what did the Biden administration do? They started taxing your freaking crypto to the point where it crashed for a good bit. Now it's coming back up, but let's see what happens. Anyway.
Britain imposed all kinds of laws to try to regulate the paper currencies that were getting invented. And when the Stamp Act went into effect, because so much of these taxes had to be paid in British currency, it put a de facto end to much of this colonial paper money because businesses needed to pay their taxes in this currency. They couldn't pay it with this currency. This is how the British retained control of their currency until the Revolutionary War. It makes me think of one of the most famous quotes from a Rothschild. "Permit me to issue and control the money of a nation, and I care not who makes its laws." Mayor Anselm Rothschild, 1790. American history is vastly complex, and any TikTok is going to vastly oversimplify it. But there's a reason why they teach you about the stamps and the tea in school and not about the money. And while I was researching this, I kept on thinking like, the incumbent established governmental powers passing a bunch of regulation to try to regulate new currencies invented by the people? Weird, that sounds familiar. It's almost like people inventing new sovereign forms of money that aren't ruled by central banks and established power is a threat to the powers that be. I mean, it was kind of weird how for years and years and years, the SEC and Mr. Gensler gave no guidance as to whether cryptocurrencies were securities or not and whether or not they would be regulated. And then all of a sudden we're at war with cryptocurrencies. Besides, Gary Gensler is like a public servant. He's not like part of an entrenched, established financial elite at all. And I mean, come on, he was nominated by Mr. Joe B., who's literally uncorruptible and has no evidence of ever having done anything shady. Besides, Gary's an expert at finance, and he learned it from one of the most reputable organizations ever, who literally can't even escape Wikipedia calling them out, has been criticized for lack of ethical standards, working with dictatorial regimes, close relationships with the U.S. federal government via a revolving door of former employees. I mean, lots of cryptocurrencies are trash, you know? It's the Wild West of new money. Kind of like paper money was back in the 1700s. And it kind of makes you think how different the world would look if we were all still using British currency and this had never happened. But if you work for the CIA and you're watching this, just know that I am not calling for a revolution. I'm just calling for education about finance. Like, the average person doesn't know shit about how money works, and they should. Sue me. And P.S. I'm going out in the woods again this weekend. I'll be gone for a little bit. Don't worry. I'm fine. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I have no intention to Epstein myself. Life is great over here. Y'all be good now. Drink some water. I think I found the...
Love him. Goldman Sachs. Why are they still in business after all those unethical complaints and lawsuits they have against them? It's like Bayer Drugs. Why are they still in business? Bayer Drugs had tainted HIV pills that they sold over the counter. I don't know, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people got infected with HIV by Bayer Drugs. Bayer Drugs, not even a name change. That's going to be my next video, by the way. Bayer Drugs, B-A-Y-E-R. How in the hell are they still in business? All right, here's a real logical video. A very logical question with a very logical explanation.
Do you think we're going into World War III?
We're really close to it, as you know. The fact that anyone would even consider getting within 1,000 miles of fucking around with a nuclear exchange just shows you that the core impulse here is suicide. That's what all of this is. And that's why I personally think it's spiritual. The word demonic is suddenly being overused. It's everywhere because it's real. If you see a human movement that's anti-human, the push toward nuclear war, for its own sake, is by definition anti-human, I would say. AI is anti-human by definition. Transgenderism is anti-human by definition. Transhumanism is anti-human. Do people act against their own long-term interests? Probably not, actually. So it's probably not human. I mean, I'm like looking at this like very autistically, very simply, trying to reduce it to its most basic elements. And like any movement that's anti-human is probably not human.
Do you think we're going in?
Anti-human, baby. Suicide. Suicide bombers. Transgenders. AI. Spot on, Tuck. All right, this next one, I'm not sure where she's getting her information from, but she ain't lying. I've heard this all my life. I've heard this fake alien invasion and Project Bluebeam is coming or whatever. And it's just a heads up. She makes a good point about COVID in it, too. If she would have told you 10 years ago COVID was coming and they were going to force you to get injected and force you to stay at home, you wouldn't believe it, right? Well, same thing with the aliens. Now, are these aliens men in costumes? So, I think some of them will be. I think our technology is advanced. But listen to what she has to say. Our technology is advanced to the point where humans are making it. But they won't tell you this because they want to bamboozle you into believing that there is an alien invasion here and you need more government help, which means more government taxes. Bro, the control is real. The greed is real, fam.
All right, everyone needs to listen up. This is serious now. No word of a lie. It's not a conspiracy. You can go and check it, yeah? There is a mothership sitting outside our atmosphere, sending probes down to Earth to come and check and see what we're doing before they introduce themselves to us. Sounds crazy. But if I told you 6 years ago that we were going to have this deadly virus that was going to attack everyone and kill so many people and we all thought we were going to die in our houses, you would have thought I was crazy. Yeah? And that they're all going to force us to have this injection or we're all going to die. That sounds crazy. But it happened. Just like these aliens are going to come. They're showing themselves very soon. It's coming up, guys. All right.
All right. And what the freak is this? And who's making it? And why isn't this on the news? It's a UFO with the words, with the letters TRUFF. Truff or truth? What truth? The truth is out there. Crazy or what? Crazy or what? Okay, one more deep dive before we get shallow into the funny stuff. Okay? Now, if you don't know, my views on Elon Musk are iffy, you know? I lost almost $10,000 of Bitcoin of dollars, $10,000 of profit that I had made off of Bitcoin when Elon Musk pulled out of Bitcoin, being able to pay for a Tesla with Bitcoin. That the market started crashing there. I held on for a little bit, but it just kept on going down and more down and down. And then he Dogecoin, he did the same thing with Dogecoin. He hyped it up, and then he pulled out of it and then made Dogecoin crash without really a heads up to the people that he said he cared for. I don't know. There's a few things that make Elon kind of sketch, but I guess his pros outweigh his cons, so to speak. But when anyone that big is talking about taxes, I listen. So here's Elon talking about the government efficiency program or department. Sounds interesting.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're being taxed. You're being taxed. All government spending is taxation. So whether it's direct taxation or all government spending, it either becomes inflation or it's direct taxation. Your money is being wasted, and the Department of Government Efficiency is going to fix that. We're going to get the government off your back and out of your pocketbook.
We hope so.
And America's just not just going to be great. America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing! Now, you guys are awesome. Honestly, this is like... Yeah. I mean, this is the kind of positive energy that America is all about.
I think he got off track there. He was supposed to start talking about something else, and his autism kicked in or some shit. I don't know. Y'all ever see that video with Elon Musk and Kanye West? The title of it is When ADD Meets Autism, or When ADD Meets Asperger's. I thought that was funny. Okay, one more on this guy. Charlie Kirk. In case you don't know who Charlie Kirk is this guy. He's the one that does these debates versus feminists and woke people. Listen.
Can I give you a fact I want you to think about? Kamala Harris, as she's been in charge of the border, we have 320,000 missing children right now in this country. that were all sex trafficked or labor trafficked across the southern border. Do you agree that that should probably get more attention?
I think any type of issue like that should get attention.
Have you heard about that before me mentioning it?
Not really. Like I said, I don't really know that much.
No, but hold on. But you knew enough to say Trump was a racist. Why do you think you don't know that there's 320,000 missing kids in America? Why is that?
It's not really presented in the media. The media is so focused right now on the battle between conservative and liberal.
But isn't that a core part of the battle, that the liberal vice president has allowed 320,000 kids to go missing?
So how has she allowed that exactly?
That's a good question. She's in charge of the border. She has stopped DNA testing at the border. So if a kid comes to the border, 12 years old, and someone says, I'm their father, there's no DNA rapid testing that takes 90 seconds to make sure that's actually the father. Most times it's a pimp that is selling the girl into sex slavery in the interior of the United States. Kamala Harris specifically got rid of that policy.
So it was in place before?
Yes, when Donald Trump was president, it required DNA testing, and families would remain together, and they were not granted asylum into the interior of the country, and we had remain in Mexico, the lowest border crossings in American history. Under Kamala Harris, we have 10 million people coming illegally into America.
Okay. Next person.
All right, I want you to think about these things. And
God bless her.
Maybe one day you'll remember this conversation, and you'll think back that maybe conservatives have been right all along. Can I give you a fact I want you?
That's a future conservative. I'll give her credit. At least she was listening, paying attention, and she was asking questions. She wasn't just debating this man. But anyway, that's Charlie Kirk. And Charlie Kirk over the weekend was on an airplane, and a UFO was flying, circling his airplane like the Malaysian Airlines thingy. It's pretty fascinating. Check it out.
Y'all, I cannot believe what we are seeing. Last night, in the middle of the night, Charlie Kirk, mainstream Charlie Kirk, posted this video from the cockpit of a plane with this huge UFO. This is not just like a hand-me-down type video. He was literally present. He recorded this. He was literally with the pilots when they were seeing this, and they told him that it was wrapping around their plane. I'm gonna show you some pieces of the video in 1 second. Remember in January when I made a prediction video and said that this year we'd have alien disclosure? And then all freaking year they've been going off about UFOs and aliens. And even further, this giant mothership they're talking about in Indiana fits the description for the second moon, which is actually 2 kilometers. Not 33 foot, like we went over here. And now before we check out the craziest freaking footage of this UFO in real time that we have, the only reason I knew is because if you pay attention, you'll know what's gonna happen next. In 2012, something really big happened with aliens and with humanity. We saw the completion of that in April of this year, and I can't give any more detail on that. But this is not a satellite. It was circling their plane. Y'all are gonna find out soon they're not just holograms, and that aliens are a physical shell for demonic spirits.
And there's nothing on your radar right now?
Now the light's going out.
They're gone. Have you ever seen anything like that before?
A couple times in this area.
We're flying over New Mexico?
Yeah.
Which is Roswell, which is where all those...
Correct. It's where all the weird stuff happens. They're going to go again.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
Satellites go in a line. These are like circles.
Are they like high propulsion devices, you think?
I don't know.
Is that how an aircraft would fly?
We're at 40,000 feet. So whatever that is, it's got to be at 80,000 or 100,000. There's got to be way up there.
And with it appearing that big and that much bigger than the plane, then that thing is freaking huge. I'm telling you guys, they're coming soon, and they're already here, and they're already intermingling with humans on the earth walking around. And as Ronald Reagan said, I wonder how fast our differences would aside if we had an alien threat. And this, and we have this, and we have this. Come on, y'all. Wake up. Y'all.
Did you guys see anything? Because I didn't see a damn thing. I didn't see nothing. But I believe it. Charlie Kirk's a pretty legit dude, and I don't know, I like his logic. Logic. China. From China. Anyway. Alright guys, let's get a little shallow, let's get a little freaky, let's get a little funny, let's get a little musically. It's enough of that UFO and conspiracy shit. This stuff is about to get really fun. All right, this dude lifted my vibration so wonderfully listening to him. This is the power of words. The tongue, the mouth is a double-edged sword that can be used to build or destroy, fam-lam. You hear me, A Spoon Coons? Check it out.
Hey,
He runs down the
negative.
ABC. Avoid negative sources. A. All right, check it out. Check it out. Hold up. All right, pay attention.
A. Avoid negative sources, people, places, things, and bad habits. B. Believe in yourself. C. Consider things from every angle. D. Don't give up and don't give in. Don't let a damn thing get you down. E. Enjoy life today. Yesterday is gone and tomorrow never comes. F. Family and friends are hidden treasures. Talk to them and enjoy their riches. G. Give more than you plan to give each day. H. Hang on to your dream. I. Ignore the bullshit. J. Just do it. K. Keep on trying no matter how hard it may seem. It will get easier. L. Love yourself first and most. Love God always. M. Make it happen. N. Never let them see you sweat. O. Open your eyes to see everything around you. P. Practice make perfect. Q. Quitters never win and winners never quit. R. Read, learn, study about everything important in your life. S. Stop procrastinating. T. Take control of your own destiny. U. Understand yourself first so that you can better understand others. V. Visualize it. W. Want it more than anything. X. You already marked your spot in the world. Y. You are unique of all God's grace and no one can replace it. Z. Zero in on your target and go for it. A. Avoid negative sources, people, places.
Beautiful. I love that. I think you was my favorite one. Understand yourself first so you can understand everyone else around you. That was straight yoga flame. All right, when people ask me if I'm voting or have I voted, this is how I really feel, you know. I'm not saying I'm not going to vote now, but that's how I feel, dog. Now, this is Pete and Bass. In case y'all didn't know, two British rappers, very mature British rappers, but these cats go in. Oh my God.
Birds whistle when I walk like this. Best listen when I talk like this. I'm outside on the curb with me tats out. If he's hard, he can try and talk like this. Chain swinging when I walk like this. Heads bobbing when I talk like this. I'm outside on the curb with the straps out. Ever love you ain't gonna choke like shit. I spin fellas, my swing quicker than Federer. I serve packet of bands back on the regular. And I'ma tell her how she sing for me T-Pain. Your mama's hooked on the packs, I'll be selling her. I click hammers and bang them and I'm a nothing. I feel it dead with the lead like a mukbang. The magazine made me lean when I walk in the drumstick will making that bang like a funk bang. Birds whistle.
My man holding on to his cane like a G. I love it. That was fire. Okay, a little something for spooky season. Who does this though? Who's got time for this shit?
Ask me if I give a fuck about it, yes. Ask me if I give a fuck about it, yeah. Ask me if I give a fuck about fame, yeah. Recently I just don't give a fuck about it, yeah. Ask me if I give a fuck about it, yes. Ask me if I give a fuck about it, yeah. Ask me if I give a fuck about fame, yeah. Recently I just don't give a fuck about it, yeah.
I ain't got time for that shit, but if you do, that's still pretty cool. All right. As I'm streaming, I'm here wondering, is he the first streamer ever? It's pretty badass. Shout out to you, kid. I'd love to know who he is, where he's at.
Hello, it's me, Zach the Avenger, once again with another episode of Video Games and More.
I'm gonna Google it.
Today's show is going to be particularly fun for me because it's fighting games. My favorite. And anyway, I will be taking questions on Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter 2, and Eternal Champions. But anyway, so now I'm going to show you how to get to the reptile in the pit level. Don't hit any buttons, Jason. But anyway, here's Liu Kang. I'm gonna try and get to Reptile like this. The only way that you can get to Reptile is if you're in the pit level and you see stuff flying in the air like that.
What is that?
I found
So
him.
as you can see right there, you have to get a double flawless. All right? So let's say you're like this, double flawless, then you do the fatality move, and you get to fight you know who if you do a double flawless and a fatality when the stuff is flying up on the screen.
Damn,
all right?
I've never seen that.
So now you have found me. Now prove yourself. All right?
Sure.
Now watch this. I'm going to be fighting Reptile.
Are you buff?
Now because I used the cheat option, you know, when you put in the Dullard code, he's going to be pretty easy. And I'm going to get, yeah,
Are you
Dullard.
buff?
Now, when I beat him, I get 10 million
How old
points.
are you?
Fatality. Boom. Okay, me. I am 53 years old.
Stupid.
What?
Yeah, you're 53.
Yeah, I'm 53. I'm a midget. Haven't you ever seen a midget before? I smoked too many cigarettes and I drank too much coffee. Hello?
Bro, he's a time traveler. Check out the lemur. He's so cute, bro. The lemur or meerkat? I forget what they're called. One of them. He loves it. Yo, he was so poised. So cute. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. No Diddy, no Diddy. Yo, you want to laugh, my G? You really want to laugh? Pete.
You want to know how I got this hairline? My father was a barber and had a serious case of the shakes. One night, he comes home and wants to give me a shape up. Mommy goes in the kitchen and gets the butter knife. Daddy don't like that. Not one bit. He takes the butter knife from Mommy. He shaves her head clean bean. Then he takes the clippers and put on my head and he says, "Why so nervous?" He looks at me laughing and says, "Let's put a McDonald's sign on that hairline." I'm so sorry. And why so nervous? Now, as you can see, gentlemen, I am a little ahead of my time. Our operation only has room for one more person. So, we're gonna have tryouts. May the best man with the worst headline wins. You wanna know how...
Yo, I thought that was hilarious. Excuse me. Y'all remember this? 2020 or 2021? The mayor of New York. When he went on national television, the mayor of New York, eating a McDonald's hamburger and fries and saying, "I got this for free and you can get it free as well if you just get this vaccine." Do you remember that shit, bro? Listen to Jim Brewer explain it. Yeah. I feel him because I felt the same way.
I was portraying the ridiculousness of what I'm watching.
I'm watching the mayor of New York eating McDonald's French fries. Probably the most unhealthy, disturbing food, if it is food, going, you mean I get free French fries if I stick this needle in me? Who's not watching this going, oh, you know what? Maybe something's weird going on. How do you not? I know. It still staggers my thought process that anyone will still defend those times. I know. And they'll still go, they use all the, part of that I did I call it the...
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I remember those days. And bro, I have never seen a porcupine make these noises. It's such the most vocal porcupine in the world. Here he is.
3 grams. He's only this big. And he's never seen another porcupine, so he doesn't know he's a porcupine. Okay. So yeah, he was actually raised with our Yorkshire Terrier.
Oh my goodness, that's
so he has no idea what he is. So we're not quite sure why he's as vocal. All porcupines are 3 grams. He's only this big.
Mad cute. Yo, this next one. Imagine balling next to Michael Jordan and not knowing you're playing against Michael Jordan. Well, this next clip is a guy who's playing the drums. He's street performing in front of Chad Smith, the Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer. And he's doing a Chili Peppers song. How crazy is that? ¿Qué pasó? Sorry, just had some technical problems, but we're back. Yo, what's up? Oh my God, I might have to cut the video short today, guys. Having some sort of problems, but I'll be back, I promise. Yeah, I'm sorry, my Ace Spoon Coons. We're gonna leave it here. I promise I will make it up to you. Something's going on with the internet, or something's going on with AT&T. Probably both. God bless y'all. Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Don't trust me. Damned is the man who always puts his trust in a man. Jeremiah 17:5. Peace. We out of here. I'll get back with you real soon.